Hi, my name is Ariel Quintanilla, and I want to thank my dad who served in the Marines and he sacrificed for our freedom. And I want to give big wishes to my sister Alyssa, who's currently serving in the Marines right now. And I love you and I miss you. Bye.
Thank you, Grandpa, for flying a B-17 bomber during the aftermath of World War II.
Thank you, Dad,
for sacrificing yourself in the Army for our family.
And being such a great role model, inspiring me to join ROTC here at school.
I want to thank my boyfriend Reed Branham, who is stationed in Oklahoma, serving for Army National Guard. I miss you so much. Thank you for your sacrifice. I love you.
Hi, I'm Carla.
Hi, I'm Josie.
And we'd like to thank Mr. Lundquist for his past service in the United States Air Force.
Thank you for choosing West Aurora as a place to teach and a place for allowing all of us to grow with your great teaching skills.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, we just wanted to thank Senior Master Sergeant Priscilla and Master Sergeant Hellinger.
And Lieutenant Colonel Pettyjohn. We appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do for Corps. We love you.
Hi, I'd like to thank all veterans and specifically my grandfather for serving in the Vietnam War. He sacrificed things that we as high school students take for granted, like going to college pretty soon. I'm a senior, and like family, being close to them, just to serve our country and I'd like to pay respect to that on Veterans Day.
Hi, I would like to thank my grandpa who served in the Marines for not only serving overseas for our country, but also being one of my biggest role models.
Hi, I'd like to thank my cousin Daniel, who is currently serving in the United States Marine Corps. He is stationed in Florida, and I'd just like to wish you luck. Thank you.
We want to give a shout out to Jennifer Morales,
who over the summer enlisted in the National Guard.
Thank you for signing on to serve our country and for being brave.
To all veterans, living and deceased, thank you for all your sacrifices and services that allow us to live in a free country.
I just want to give a thanks to my brother Nick Michos for currently serving in the United States Air Force. I know you're home on leave and you're here somewhere in the audience today, and I just want to say that I love you and I'm going to miss you when you leave.
Good morning, honored guests and families, representatives from the City of Aurora, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Jeff Craig, District 129 administrators, West High students, staff, parents, community members. Welcome to our annual Veterans Day Assembly honoring all those who have served. My name is Charles Hiscock. It's my pleasure to serve as the principal of West Aurora High School. And here at West, we believe that the service and sacrifice of our veterans are the bedrock upon which our great nation is built. So every year, our students honor this community and our veterans by respectfully acknowledging their commitment to our country. At this time, I'd like everyone to please stand for the entrance of the color guard, the singing of our national anthem by the gospel choir. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Private Jennifer Morales of the Army National Guard. Today's color guard is comprised of cadets from our Black Hawk drill team. On rifle, we have cadets Nia Pham, Sophie Evans, Cadet Ariel Quintanilla is carrying the Illinois flag, and Cadet Josie Ochudnicki is proudly carrying the American flag and commanding today's color guard.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing as the colors exit the gymnasium. Okay, please take your seats. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pride Morales and the Gospel Choir. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Eric Pettyjohn, and I am honored to stand before you today as we honor and pay tribute to the many veterans around the world, and also to those who are with us this morning in our assembly. At this time, we would like to recognize any veterans we have with us today from different operations and conflicts. If you are able, I would ask for the veterans to please stand and remain standing if you served our great nation in any of the following conflicts, and I'll kind of roll through these. Veterans from World War II, please stand. Do we have any? Okay, we had one last year. So, veterans from the Korean War, please stand. Veterans from the Vietnam War. Veterans from Desert Shield or Desert Storm. Veterans from Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom. Veterans from Afghanistan. Then also, please stand if there are any veterans from any other areas or conflicts that we have not mentioned. Please stand. All right, one more round of applause for them, please. So thank you again from myself and on behalf of other veterans in the school. Thank you for your great service to our country. And now at this time, what I'd like to do is I would like to introduce the Air Force Junior ROTC Choir led by Cadet Anna Charisse. The choir will sing Song for the Unsung Hero. So please help me welcome West Aurora's Air Force Junior ROTC Choir.
Let us sing for unsung heroes, those who lay their dreams aside, choosing honor more than glory, pledging faith with quiet pride. Those whose uniform is courage, yet are unashamed of tears, finding in their love
Thank you, Air Force JROTC Choir. Now, we will honor those men and women who are prisoners of war or missing in action. We begin with the Airman's Creed, written in 1917 by William Tyler Page. It reads, "I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established on those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies." Today, the IL-20141 Black Hawk Honor Guard is conducting a ceremony to show our respect for the heroism and sacrifices made by thousands of Americans who have suffered and remained captive in enemy hands, as well as those whose fate still remains unknown. We also honor the memory of those brave men and women who were killed in action. The detail you see in front of you has 3 riflemen, 1 flag bearer, 1 helmet bearer, and 1 dog tag bearer.
Ready, host.
The rifleman. He stands alone. His singularity demonstrates the loneliness of a prisoner of war. Far from home and loved ones, the prisoner has endured torture and years of isolation. The soldier's helmet, once offering the head of a soldier both shelter from the elements and protection from the enemy. The dog tags of a fallen soldier, designating the name and resting place of the soldier, so they will not be forgotten.
Host, the colors.
The POW-MIA flag. It is a visible reminder of our nation's commitment to resolve the fate of Americans who are still being held prisoner, who are missing in action, or who are unaccounted for. We want these soldiers and their families to know we remember them. We want them to know that they will never be forgotten.
Freeze that. Arms.
We will never forget.
Order. Arms. Ready. Face. Forward. Arch.
Today, we are honored by the presence of many veterans. At the conclusion of our assembly, we ask you to stop by, say hello, and thank them for their service. We also ask that you dedicate your thoughts and prayers to the families who are still waiting to hear from their missing loved ones. Finally, we would like to thank all of those who have served in the past or are currently serving our country in the United States military. Thank you for your service, your sacrifices, and your unwavering courage. Thank you.
Thank you. Veterans are here with us every day here at West Aurora. Please join me in recognizing our current staff members who are veterans. Will the following veterans please stand and remain standing as your name is called? Please hold your applause until all of our staff veterans have been recognized. United States Army, Peter Baker. United States Marine Corps, Jesus Favela. United States Air Force, Master Sergeant Scott Hellinger. United States Army, Dr. Charles Hiscock. United States Air Force, Robert Lundquist. United States Army, Tim Miller. United States Navy, Robert Payne. United States Air Force, Lieutenant Colonel Eric Pettyjohn. U.S. Air Force, Senior Master Sergeant Matthew Pierce Chawla. United States Marine Corps, Anthony Rizzo. United States Marine Corps, Steve Williams. United States Air Force, David Zine. Please give them one more round of applause. I'd now like to introduce our current Blackhawk students who have volunteered to serve in our military and will begin training shortly after graduation. When your name is called, please stand to be recognized and remain standing until all are recognized. Would the audience please hold your applause until all of our enlistees have been called. United States Air Force, Bradley Shadron. United States Army, Emmanuel Moncada. Joseph Chacon. Saul Gonzalez. United States Marine Corps, Lorenzo Saldana. Haley Ochoa. Raul Zavala. Alexis Valdez. United States National Guard, Samantha Campbell. Paige Nowlin. Jennifer Morales. United States Air National Guard, Julia Vasquez. Thank you, students, for your future service to our great nation. Please give them all one more round of applause. Now, we will have a performance by our AFJ ROTC drill team. Please direct your attention to the floor as the Black Hawk Armed Exhibition Squad, commanded by Cadet Bradley Shadron, performs their armed exhibition routine. This routine has won multiple trophies at local drill meets and placed third at nationals last year. This year, the routine will be performed locally and at Air Force Regionals and Joint Service Nationals.
Squad, attention, point, homes. Forward, hunch. Blackhawks, host. Order, homes. Right, haste. Hop, out, haste. Blackhawks, who are you? Sir, I'm a warrior. Forward, hunch. Three-point pin. Hop, 2, 3, Sir, we're the IL-20141 Air Force Student Reserve Officer Training Corps, Armed Exhibition Squad from West Aurora High School of Aurora, Illinois. Respectfully requesting permission to utilize your drill floor, sir.
Permission granted. Carry on.
Thank you, sir. Order, homes. Ready, hop. Ready, move. Ready, two. Take hold. Hop, 2, 3. To the rear, punch. Leg hugs, hoots. Hop, 2. Hop, 2, 3. Hop, 2, 3. Hop, 2 and 3. Forward, punch. High hugs, hoots. Forward, punch. Ready, face. Ready, step. About face. Ready, step. Ready, two. Reach forward. Hua. Sir, the Armed Exhibition Squad from West Aurora High School of Aurora, Illinois have completed the routine, respectfully requesting permission to exit your drill floor. Sir!
Permission granted.
Thank you, sir! Order, Homs! Right out, left flank, punch!
Please give another
Left
round of
flank,
applause to the
punch!
Black Hawk Armed Exhibition Squad.
Squad, punch! Order, Homs! Right, face!
Now, our a cappella choir will sing I Will Be On My Way.
When I am gone, don't won't you pity my sorry soul? What pain there might have been will now be past, and my spirit will be whole. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll have left my feet of clay upon the ground. I will be glory bound. I'll be on my way. When I am gone, don't you cry for me, don't you pity my sorry soul. What pain there might have been will now be past, and my spirit will be whole. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll have left my feet of clay upon the ground. I will be glory bound. I'll be on my way.
When I am gone, please forgive the wrongs that I might have done to you. There'll be no room for regrets up there high above, way beyond the blue.
I'll be on my way.
I'll be on
I'll be on my way. I'll have laid my crown and I'll never get down. I'll be pointed on my crown. I'll be on my way.
On, don't you look for me in the places I have been.
I'll be alive, but somewhere else. I'll be on my way again. I'll be on my way. 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 I'll lift my voice to the air. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. My crown, all my burdens down. I'll be sitting on my crown. I'll be crowned on my way. I'll have left my feet of clay upon the ground. I will be glory bound. I'll be on my way.
Please direct your attention to the screen at the back of the gym. Freedom does not come without a price. We may sometimes take for granted the many liberties we enjoy in America. I need more lights, please. The following Blackhawks walked the very halls that you walk, went to the very same classes that you go to. But they ended up paying what President Lincoln in the Gettysburg Address said was the last full measure of devotion to their country. Army Specialist Christopher Patterson, class of 2009. Marine Private Nick Howe, class of 2002. And U.S. Marine Corps First Lieutenant Tim Ryan, class of 1991. So I would ask you to please join me in a moment of silence in their memory.
Thank you, Mr. Scott Rockowitz. In 1861, Julia Ward Howe wrote the greatest marching song in history. The combined efforts of our Wind Symphony and a cappella choir will perform this song, the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Marching
Thank you much to the a cappella choir and the Wind Symphony. Can we give them one more round of applause, please? I now have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker today. Captain Kirk Wallace graduated from Norwich University in 2011 with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering and was commissioned as an officer in the active component of the U.S. Army. Currently, Captain Wallace is a member of the U.S. Army Reserve. When activated, he is the S3 Operations Officer for the 16th Psychological Operations Battalion located near Fort Sheridan, Illinois. In this role, he supports the planning and training of deploying units. In a civilian role, Captain Wallace is an Army civilian for the Department of the Army, is assigned to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. In this role, he manages construction contracts for the U.S. Army that range from $500,000 up to $5 million in value. Captain Wallace's prior assignments include PSYOPs Company Commander, Battle Captain for the 1st Infantry Division Sustainment Brigade, and Transportation Officer with the 541st Combat Sustainment Battalion. Captain Wallace's most recent deployment was to Afghanistan in 2012 with the 266th Movement Control Team in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. He is currently married with 2 young children. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Captain Kirk Wallace.
Good morning, West Aurora High School. Thank you, Dr. Hiscock and Lieutenant Colonel Pettyjohn for inviting me. With that introduction, my name is Captain Kirk Wallace. I've been in the Army for 7 years, 4 years active, 3 years reserve, 1 deployment to Afghanistan. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for inviting me to speak here today. It's an honor and a privilege to represent the U.S. Army and my fellow veterans. With that said, if there's any Marines out there, I'd like to wish you guys a happy birthday tomorrow. Thank you. Veterans Day was originally known as Armistice Day, which symbolized the end of World War I, on November 11th, 1918. It is still celebrated today by many other countries. Today marks the 100 years since the end of that war. In remembrance, I'd like to read you a speech given by President Woodrow Wilson on the 1st anniversary of Armistice Day. He said, "A year ago today, our enemies laid down their arms in accordance with an armistice which rendered them impotent to renew hostilities and gave to the world an assured opportunity to reconstruct its shattered order and to work out in peace a new and juster set of international relations. The soldiers and people of the European allies had fought and endured for more than 4 years to uphold the barrier of civilization against the aggressions of an armed force. We ourselves, as in America, had been in the conflict something more than a year and a half. With splendid forgetfulness of mere personal concerns, we remodeled our industries. We concentrated our financial resources and increased our agricultural output. We assembled a great army so that at last our power was the decisive factor in the victory. We were able to bring the vast resources, material and moral, of a great and free people to the assistance of our associates in Europe who had suffered and sacrificed without limit in the cause for which we fought. Out of this victory, there rose new possibilities of political freedom and economic concert. The war showed us the strength of great nations acting together for purposes, and the victory of arms foretells the enduring conquest which can be made in peace when nations act justly and in furtherance of common interests of mankind. To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us, and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of nations. We now celebrate Veterans Day in honor of all those that served, those whom answered the call of arms to their nation to defend freedom, and the American way of life. In that way, Veterans Day is a celebration of the American spirit, as all veterans are individuals that have taken a solemn vow to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. I'd like to invite you to take this Veterans Day to be inspired by that American spirit. In his address to Congress, President Wilson also said, "Hunger does not breed reform, it breeds madness." There are many lessons that we can learn from World War I, and side note, if you're ever in Kansas City, the World War I Museum is outstanding. But one key point is this: we are stronger when we work together. Any veteran will tell you that when you wear the uniform, you put the unit, the team, and the country above yourself. Each of us are responsible for our own actions. And you are the only person who can decide whether you're going to be a good person who's good to one another in spite of that hunger, or if you capitulate to the madness and embrace hate. I'd invite you to show support for veterans this Veterans Day by valuing that which we fight for, which is the American people. Thank you, West Aurora High School. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Captain Wallace. The next music selection will be the Armed Forces Medley, played by our Wind Symphony. We honor and salute the men and women from each branch of our United States Armed Forces and their families. The protocol is to stand, if you are able, when the song of your branch or service is played. I invite students, staff, and special guests to do the same.
Thank you.
Coach. Please, one more round of applause for the Wind Symphony. Now I'd like to welcome the Lady Blackhawks unarmed exhibition team to the floor, if you direct your attention over to the door. This performance took first place last year at the Joint Service Nationals High School Drill Championships in Daytona Beach, Florida. So I'd like you to please direct your attention again to the corner, and again welcome the reigning national champion unarmed exhibition team, our Lady Blackhawks.
We are the IL-20 Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, unarmed exhibition team from West Aurora High School of Aurora, Illinois. Respectfully requesting permission to utilize your drill floor, sir. Thank you, sir. Order arms. Give me a 1. Give me a 2. Give me a 3. Leg it down. 1 team. Start. The Lady Blackhawks unarmed exhibition team has completed their routine. Is respectfully requesting permission to depart your drill floor, sir. Thank you, sir. Order arms.
Blackhawks, today we have the privilege to be in the presence of a very special group of Americans. We owe them a great deal. First and foremost, we owe them our freedom. And today, especially, we owe them our gratitude. To all veterans, West Aurora High School says, thank you. Thank you for your unwavering service in peacetime and in war. Here in the nation and throughout the world, at the conclusion of TAPS, students and staff are dismissed back to their first year. Please stand and join me as we pay tribute to our fallen soldiers as West Aurora's own Elena Smith and Joshua Munoz play taps.
Thank you for your attention. You may now head back to First Hour.